The threads of fate draw both of us to this place, Proxy. Telrendis, once the home of a powerful Telvanni magister named Meln the Mouthless, but now abandoned. From what I could ascertain, no one knows what happened to the wizard of this tower.
Is that why you're here, to find out what happened?
That has yet to be determined. One of the strands of fate revealed to me converges at this location. More than that, Hermaeus Mora expects us to learn for ourselves. Of the 3 sites, this one requires that I be on hand to assist you.
Why is this place more important than the other 2 sites?
I never said it was more important. Just that fate requires both of us here. More than that, we shall need to determine. I do sense a lingering presence, a connection to Apocrypha. Help me investigate this place, and Hermaeus Mora will reward you.
I will help you investigate. Where do we start?
I wish to survey the tower and its grounds. The threads of fate hang over this place like cobwebs of possibility and consequence. Let us explore the center of the compound and see where those threads take us.
What can you tell me about the Telvanni?
The Telvanni are one of the great Dunmer houses. They focus on magic and the arcane arts, and they consider power, ruthlessness, and ambition to be paramount. We must be careful in our dealings with them, for they are nothing if not dangerous.
You mentioned a name, Meln the Mouthless.
Yes, but I could not learn much. Just that he owns this tower, but has not been seen in some time. The place is considered abandoned. He was a Telvanni magister, the highest rank in the house, second only to the Archmagister.
What does it mean that he was the Mouthless?
Telvanni masters and magisters avoid undue socializing, fearing threats from all directions. So they appoint agents to represent them, mouths. Meln eschewed the practice, hence they called him Mouthless. I expect his tower to be a fortress.
Sounds like a plan. We are going this way. And welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed the other series. You should by now have seen episode 1, but it wasn't enough for me to determine if you guys liked the series or not. So here we are. I'm heading to that shrine right there real quick. Get that activated.
Wait, hold on. Headed to Old Isra.
Oop. But I'll come back and check on you. I hear it. I hear it. Oh, I see it.
The vampire mercenaries. The tower's defenses have them well occupied.
A shroom beetle. Hey guys, what is up?
Master Shell ready. The tower's defenses continue to oppose us.
Meln was thorough, I'll give him that. Any word from the tower?
No progress yet. I'll keep you informed.
See that you do, Captain. You there, come forward. You aren't with the Dusksabers.
A Telvanni master. Speak with her, Proxy.
That's right. Get this, Maple. It's important.
I expected to have Telrendis all to myself today, and you're certainly not one of Captain Xenphis' vampire mercenaries. So, who are you, and why have you come to this tower?
I'm Manilia. We've heard this place was abandoned.
Abandoned, yes, but not without its defenses. Telrendis is a dangerous place, Fla. I advise you not to interfere with the Dusksabers, and it seems Meln the Mouthless left Telrendis well protected, as my mercenaries can testify.
Meln the Mouthless?
Oh, the Telvanni Magister who owned this place. He's been missing for decades. The old fool possessed a book that I very much want to add to my library. Scavenge if you will, as long as you understand the book is mine. Now, why are you really here?
I don't think we can lie. I don't think we're high enough. Hermaeus Mora sent us to investigate this place.
Indeed. You don't look like a Daedric cultist. Running errands for Daedra is frowned upon in most lands, but I appreciate your honesty. My Dusksabers are stymied, and Meln warded his tower against other Telvanni such as myself. Perhaps you can help.
What kind of help do you need?
Find a way into the tower and breach Meln's defenses so I can recover the book I seek. You can then attend to your business with the gratitude of a Telvanni master. So what do you say? Do we have an agreement?
We'll help you find a way into the tower.
I suggest you begin with the old Telrendis Hall, to the southwest of this camp. Captain Zenfis reports that his Dusksabers are having a difficult time there. If you can succeed where they have so far failed, I will make it worth your while.
You're working with the vampires?
The Dusksabers? They're mercenaries, Fla. Efficient, capable, and rather expensive. But I believe in hiring the very best. No need to worry. They won't bite anyone, unless I pay them to.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
An appeal to my vanity. How charming and clever. We Telvanni think highly of ourselves and enjoy sharing. I'm an accomplished mage, as you might guess, and I have more than earned the right to wear a master's hood. In fact, I should be a magister.
A magister?
The next rank up in the house, which will allow me to challenge the Archmagister. I expect to be awarded the rank soon enough. Now, don't you have a tower to break into?
Have you seen hidden kindred cultists here, or a Dremora named Torvsard?
There are no cultists here. Only my Dusksabers, and the defenders Meln the Mouthless left behind. But I am curious about how you are acquainted with Torvsard. Where did you encounter him?
Torvsard worked with the hidden kindred to steal a relic from the Necrom necropolis. Know him?
In some quarters it's impolite to ask about such things. I'm a Telvanni master. I know many Dremora. My dealings with them are not your concern. But if you must know, I had no part in whatever happened in Necrom.
Okay.
That Telvanni bears watching. But the tower remains the crux of our investigation here. Let us find a way in.
Master Shalrani's orders. Dust Captain Sunfist, my business at Telrendis is not quite done. Detach a strong company of Dusksabers and establish a camp at the tower. I will join you there. Do not attempt to enter Telrendis until I arrive. Meln the Mouthless set powerful defenses in place that will take time to circumvent. Curse that old fool. You're going this way. As instructed, I mustered a company of Dusksabers and established a camp at Telrendis. We soon discovered a missing Magister's defenses are still active and quite dangerous. We can't take 3 steps in this place without attracting the attention of angry Atronachs. A quick survey revealed Magister's tower sealed, stables ruined, a servant quarters nothing of interest. The old hall protected by a strange ward, refectory guarded by Atronachs now clear, the guest quarters guarded by Atronachs, There is no point continuing our efforts until Master Telvanni arrives. I have no doubt she will be displeased. I feel like we are going way. How do we rise in House Telvanni? Clawing and biting our way to the top. How to succeed in House Telvanni? At the precipice with a knife to our backs. We start at the bottom as a hireling, a liar thing. Ascend to retainer and then to oathman. Some of us will pause once we reach raw lawman, because ascending the heights is tiring. How do we rise in House Telvanni? Clawing and biting our way to the top. How to succeed in House Telvanni when betrayal and deceit are the way. The next step up, and now we become a mouth, representing a master or a magister. Above that rank is spellwright and wizard, climbing higher and higher as our towers grow. Someday we'll be masters, leading from above, perhaps magister influence growing. Then, dare we hope, dare we plan, dare we dream, Archmagister ruling all that can be seen. How do we rise in House Telvanni, clawing and biting our way to the top? How to succeed in House Telvanni when trust is rare and treachery comes so cheap. That's a hard way to live. Alright. Is it that doorway? I don't... yeah, it's gotta be that doorway. Alright, looks like we're fighting, girlfriend. Ready? Oh, I guess not that way. Killed them for nothing. Oh. The gate just dropped. We aren't going because we're too little, but you can hear it. We have no choice of. Fine. Oh, I guess we'll take a moment in our finding to cut this maple. I can hear it, but I can't see it, and that makes me sad. Do you notice the weird glare on the maple tree right there? Looks like we're searching. Looks like a...
A magical ward seals that door. What happened here, mercenary?
What happened here? The ward killed my comrade. Not easy to do to a Dusksaber.
Add more summoning circles to the courtyard. Servants could be spies. Dismiss them. The door leading to the portal into Horrendous Hall is sealed with a ward of my own creations, a destructive resonance. The spell switch deactivates the ward. Remember its disguise. Use ghost sight lens before touching anything. Banish the cook. I know she plans to poison me. Encrypt book. Hide it. Encrypt and hide it. Can't trust anyone. Sounds like he got a little... suspicious. Paranoid, even. What is this? Throw stuff on the walls. All these cobwebs and stuff, I'm sure it's absolutely safe to be doing this, right? Perfectly fine. Okay.
I thought we had little to fear from old tricks and traps, but look what happened to my comrade. Dead as the last swit who stepped out of line across the Dusksabers. Speaking of, who are you and what are you doing here?
Master Telvanni, Master Shalreni sent us to help open a path into the tower. Tell me what happened here.
Nalia tried to push through the ward on that door. The note over there suggests that something in this room disarms the trap. Clearly, she guessed wrong. I think this strange lens is part of the puzzle. We found it by the note.
A strange lens. What does it do?
Here, you take it. We obviously weren't able to figure it out. I'll be damned if I try to use it again. If Shalreni sent you, by all means, be my guest. I'm just going to stand back here.
Let's see if we can figure out how to dispel the ward.
Lenses such as that can reveal hidden things. Look through it, Proxy. Look for anything glowing. That should be the switch to dispel the ward.
The ward is gone. Master Shalreni must be informed at once.
This is our opportunity. Lead the way, Proxy.
Okay. I'll go first. Just picked me. When your companion pushes you aside.
This portal should take us to the tower.
And I got a pillage. A pillage. I think I got everything.
We have reached the lower level of the tower. There should be more portals to take us higher, Proxy.
Gotta take this guy on. Yay, to leveling up. I do have the lore books DLC, or DLC, excuse me, the lore, oh, shoot. The lore books, okay, alright, enough. I do have the lore books mod, but apparently...
Enter the Tower of Meln, Magister of the Telvanni. Turn back or be destroyed.
A spirit. Ignore it and keep going, Proxy.
But I do have the mod, but apparently it is not updated for this zone yet. I will, after we're done with this, I will check to see if it has an update.
You aid that thief and liar, Shalreni Barrow. Provoke me at your own risk, intruder.
Interesting. The spirit seems aware of Master Shalreni's attempt to access the tower. I suggest...
difficult enough. Now she sends you to steal my book.
Is this spirit actually Meln the Mouthless? Perhaps he is the thread that led us here.
Prepare to face the fury of Meln the Mouthless, Magister of the Telvanni. Or we could have a nice chat and discuss this like civilized people.
A reasonable request. Speak to the spirit, Proxy.
If there's one thing I learned in death, it's how foolish the living can be. I know all that passes in my home, intruder. I heard your bargain with that so-called Master Shareni Barrow. You have given my murderer access to my tower.
Master Shareni murdered you. Why?
Why does a Telvanni do anything? Ambition, power, greed. 20 years ago, I stood in Shareni's path. An obstacle to the higher rank she craved. She requested a meeting. Instead of negotiating, she killed me and tried to steal my prized possession.
If you were dead, what stopped her from stealing this possession of yours?
Oh, just all the contingencies I had in place. With my last breath, I banished her from the tower and set all the wards and defenses. They held perfectly well, until you mucked everything up. She'll have no trouble stealing my black book now.
Your black book?
The Tormenting Eye, a tome of forbidden secrets. I see Hermaeus Mora's mark on you and your companion. If you don't know about the black books, she can tell you more. Shareni Barrow is careless in her pursuit of power. She must not possess my book.
What are you asking, Meln?
Two things protect my book. The spell of illegibility I cast upon it, and the fact that without my aid, it will take her time to break the spell on her own. Still, I'd rather she never get her hands on it. Stop her, and I'll find a way to reward you.
I need to discuss this with Laramel.
The thread becomes clear. Hermaeus Mora sent us to recover the Black Book.
The Black Book is mine. And with this soul gem, I also have this miserable spirit. Meln comes with me.
And I thought this day couldn't get any worse.
I knew a Telvanni master would be formidable. Come, Proxy. We have plans to make. The threads of fate here are tied to three things. Master Shareni, Meln the Mouthless, and the Black Book. That was the connection to Apocrypha I sensed here. Black Books are creations of Hermaeus Mora and his realm.
Tell me more about the black books.
Black Books are relics of Apocrypha. Each holds a different secret. Most are kept in the vast libraries of Hermaeus Mora's realm, but he sometimes gifts one to a mortal. In addition to forbidden knowledge, each serves as a portal to Apocrypha.
How many black books are there?
That is a secret the one who knows has not yet shared with me. I can count the number of black books I know about on one hand, and each is unique. Only one copy of each book exists. This is the first I have heard of one titled The Tormenting Eye.
So, what now?
We must free Meln the Mouthless from Master Shareni's grasp and retrieve the Black Book. But to do that, we need more information. Look around, Proxy. If Meln was indeed murdered here, there might be proof of Shareni's villainy.
Okay. We get to pillage. Sanction pillaged. Okay. Magister Meln Rendis, at the instruction of Shareni Boro, Master of Talboro, I sent this letter directly to you, as you still have not appointed a mouth to handle your day-to-day affairs. Master Shalreni requests an audience with you at your tower, Telrendes, to take place tomorrow at first light. At this time, she shall present her proposal for finally putting an end to the animosity that has clouded your interactions these past few years. She wishes to prove to you that her intentions are well in keeping with the long-standing traditions of House Telvanni, that she deserves to be rewarded the rank of Magister, and would seek your support in that matter. Finally, she would like the opportunity to negotiate a trade or purchase for an item in your possession, an ancient tome titled The Tormenting Eye. It is of no use to you, but of great importance to Master Shalreni. She will arrive at your tower tomorrow morning to conclude this business. Vabdru, mouth of Master Shalreni.
That letter from Master Shalreni's mouth. That meeting must have been when Meln was murdered.
Apple page. Actually, slightly sounds very interesting. Hey, Meln.
A letter and a murdered Magister. I know what we must do, Proxy.
All of this stuff, and this is all we got. All of these books on the ground? Talk to her in just a second. One's pet, little cranky.
Meln the Mouthless let down his guard and paid the ultimate price. His body has remained here forgotten and undisturbed for decades because he preferred solitude above all else. Now Master Shalreni has both Meln's spirit and his black book.
You said you know what we need to do?
To recover Meln and his black book, you must find Master Shalreni, and the letter you discovered explains how to do that. Go to the Assembly of Masters at Old Isra and question Shalreni's mouth, Vabdru. He shall know how to reach her.
You aren't coming?
No. Here our paths diverge. I leave Mouth Vabdru and Meln in your hands. While you pursue the spirit, I shall research the Black Book and contemplate the other threads of fate. I must determine how this factors into the threat against Apocrypha.
What do I do after I locate Master Shalreni?
Master Shalreni has trapped Meln's spirit in a soul gem. You must retrieve that gem or destroy it. Go to Old Isra and find Shalreni's aide, Mouth Vabdru. He must have an office in the tower called Telvara.
What can you tell me about Old Isra?
The Telvanni Assembly of Masters meets there. Well, their representatives do. The Masters themselves rarely bother to make an appearance. That is what they have mouths for. You want to go to Telvara. The mouths work out of that tower in Old Isra.
Why don't the Telvanni Masters attend their own assembly?
The Masters leave day-to-day concerns to their mouths. Their own arcane studies are far more important to them. And they try to avoid direct interaction with their rivals whenever possible. The fate that befell Meln is not an uncommon one.
Okay, I'll go do that.
This portal leads outside. You must travel to Old Isra from there. Defenses around Tel Hulin play havoc with portal magic.
It won't let me up there. Alright. Okay. She just pops me in the middle of nowhere.
is a victimless crime. He could stay up late eating Kwama egg quiche, or training his Daedrat to walk on a leash. Even Dulmodrin has a wish for the prince, power to deceive and impress and convince. With speechcraft like this, he'd go to his mother and say that the sweet-rolled thief was his brother. Nilera wishes to learn levitation. Then she could follow Cliff Racer migration, and even soar high o'er the bitter coast, and spit on the heads of the children she hates the most. And then there's Vorleen, whose father died, who dares bring him back from the other side, for a parent returned and skin well preserved. They offer our prince an eternity served. Sweet Vorleen knows the price you must pay. Contracts are binding if also cliche. The one who knows takes much more than he gives. Insatiable hunger outlasts and outlives.
We'll continue. I just heard him sing Hermaeus Mora, and I wanted to check out why he was singing Hermaeus Mora. Why does all the structures look so gross? So gross. I was gonna say they all look infected,
My
but
master wants you to convey this message to Master Shelrene. The Assembly will not tolerate threats or coercion.
These rumors disturb the other masters. Shelrene must moderate her ambition before the Assembly takes action.
I will relay your concerns to Master Shelrene.
well, hello.
Forget what you heard, stranger. Master Shelrene cares not what the other masters think of her, or how difficult she makes things for me. So, what brings you to Telvara, the Tower of the Telvanni Mouths?
I need to talk to Master Shelrene. Where can I find her?
Master Shelrene never comes to Aldisra. Telvanni masters rarely do. I expect she is at her tower Telbaro, but I would be a poor mouth indeed if I let you pester her at home without asking what business you have with her.
She took a gem from Telrendis. I need it back.
Master Shelrene never returns anything she takes. But if you are willing to scratch behind my ear, I'll scratch behind yours. Serving Master Shelrene has become difficult. I would prefer to find another role in Aldisra.
You want me to help you find another job?
Oh, I already have the perfect position in mind. I just need to show them that I'm the best candidate. Your part is simple. Gather some papers from the servants' quarters, bring them back here, and leave them on Malt Delvi's desk. Discreetly, of course.
Which papers and where are the servants' quarters?
The papers contain sensitive information. Letters found by a valet in my employ. The servants' quarters are in a small tower to the north. The papers are stashed on the upper floor. Bring them back and leave them on Mouth Delvi's desk. Simple, yes?
What exactly does a mouth do?
We tend to the affairs of the Assembly on behalf of the masters we represent. Master Shelrene is far too important to waste her time in matters of house business. All the masters are. So we mouths make sure routine matters never trouble them.
So you're a secretary. Do you let everyone who asks get to see Master Shelrene?
A better question is, do I think you are an assassin? Or do I even care? If you aren't, there's no danger. If you are, well, Master Shelrene can protect herself. Beyond that, I'm not sure my master and I are still on the same path.
I will go get your papers. Take a sheaf of papers. Oh, look at the books, they're dancing. Interesting. Am I high? Is the mushrooms making me high? Oh, I thought it was a tome. Leaved an empty soul gem. Chem el Adabal, a ballad. When Akatosh slew Larkin, he ripped his heart right out, hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Cyrodiil fell, and like a dart shot to its mark, down in an Iliad well. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Magica fused the Larkin blood, the crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Shamel Adabal. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to man, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alish in token of her right to sit on the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. There's a tome. Models of the Dunmerry Great Houses. To my son, whose inability to remember even these simple facts embarrasses our family at every opportunity, this is to inform you of the words the great houses of Vardenfall live and breathe by, and the saints they hold as their patrons, representative of their goals and motives. If you ever again confuse the Halul and the Dres merchant nobles with whom we trade, I will disown you 3 and 10 times, and once again to make the deed final and eternal. House Red Doran. A Red Doran is a warrior whose duty is first to the tribunal, second to the House Red Oran, and the third to family and clan. Saint Nerver. The captain is the patron saint of House Redern. You will likely not note the lack of an inscribed motto to the 6th house, the Shadow House, House Daggeth. This is because that house is extinct, destroyed at the Battle of Red. You will likely, House Iteral, justice knows no sleep. Iteral shall order, the temple shall judge. Saint Ohms is just, Saint Ohms the Just is the patron saint of House Iteral. House Halul, to trade fairly and freely is to honor the 3. Well dressed, blah blah blah. House Telvanni, the forceful expression of will gives true honor to the ancestors. You will likely not note the lack of an ascribed motto to the 6th house, the Shadow House, House Daggeth. This is because that house is extinct, destroyed by the Battle of Red Mountain, after what the remaining houses built the temple to the tribunal. If you ever mention this house in polite company, I will disown you. You will note that twice now I have threatened to disown you. This is because my hands are not so black as Mephalah's or Lord Vivek's. My heart is too weak to simply remove you from my family. Keep this text on you at all times, and let it shame you for every reference you make to it in your dealings with your nobility. Spare our lineage the great shame of your own foolishness. May I never have cause to call your wit in public again. I thought you were dumb. Console tingle dawning. Okay. Think. Warning me. Oh, this way. Guard. Meln. But I will provisioning. Get past that. Carrot crate. Fish. One-dimensional drawing clothes. Alright, looks like we have to go up. There. I thought I was gonna have to be sneaky the way that guy was talking, but not particularly, huh? I could... Okay. Way.
Well done. And Master Shelreni always says good help is hard to find. I see you found the papers and placed them on the correct desk. And my paws are clean in this matter. Thank you. Now it's just a matter of waiting for Mount Delvi to resign. Then I can swoop in and claim the position.
What exactly was in those papers?
The less said, the better for both of us. Suffice it to say, you helped me secure a new position in accordance with the time-honored traditions of House Telvanni. With my business behind us, we can see to yours.
Oh no, I helped him steal that position. Did we just blackmail someone? So how do I gain access to Telbaro?
Take the Telbaro insignia from my office. You'll need it to unlock the wards. Otherwise, you'll never get through the cavern to reach the tower. Master Shelreni takes security quite seriously. Now, if you'll excuse me, a mouth's work is never done.
I'll get that insignia now.
My office is through the north door and the insignia is behind my desk. Use it to unlock the wards in the cavern, or you'll never reach the tower. Telbaro is hard to find. Look for the cavern of the tower east of Old Isra. The tower is inside.
Alright, good luck in your new job. Oh.
What's this? To see. How foolish of them.
Incriminating documents on their desk. What's that? Oh, you're excited. I come back for just that. Okay. New session, first entry. An unpleasant conversation with Mouse Roos today. To inform me that our master requires Master Selreni to stop directing spies and scrying devices against other house masters. I denied any such intrusions, but Master Roos brushed aside my protests. More trouble, the Assembly of Masters is considering a new bylaw requiring members to disclose all bargains, compacts, and alliances with any people or entities outside of House Telvanni. I do not know how I will tell Master Shelrani the news. As I feared, the new rule is designed to expose Master Shalreni's private dealings. I relayed her denials to my colleagues. Malthdalvi then called for a vote of censure, which I could not deflect. Master Shalreni will not be pleased. I received more bills from Alvalis, the Dust Sabers, and strange requests from someone who referred to himself only as Blightcrown. I will pay them, of course. Master Shalreni has granted me access to enough funds to cover these expenses. But what is she up to with these different endeavors, and why has she increased security at Talbaro? The new wards that require a special insignia to unlock seem overkill to me. Still no response from Master Shalreni. I must give the Assembly some reply on her behalf. But what? They will accept no more denials or delays. She really is making my job more difficult with every passing day. At last, a reply from Master Shalreni. Of course, utterly impractical. She demands a formal hearing of her peers at Aldizra. I fear she is planning something terrible. But what am I to do? As her mouth, I must continue to do as she instructs, and work towards her best interest. Oh, how I wish I was in league with any other master at this point of time. Babdrew, I must say, I was disappointed by your last letter. A mouth must keep the politics of Ald Isra from interfering with your master's more important work. If I must address the frivolous concerns of my rivals, what purpose do you serve? If they continue to insist that I am in fact doing something wrong, which is impossible under Telvanni customs and traditions, then have them call for a conclave. Once that occurs, I will deal with my rivals once and for all. In the meantime, do better. If you disappoint me again, I'll skin you alive and turn you into a fur-lined cloak. Well. Thank you for the coin. The books are dancing. I'm pretty sure my character's high. The way of the Bandori. Do not slander another child of the Bandori. Remain mindful of dealings. A gift must be returned in kind. A fair trade need not be fair, only in gold. Truth and cleverness need not be enemies. That before that previous book, I don't think it pertained to anything that we needed to know. If it comes up, I promise to read it. Go to Talbaro Cavern. This guy just peacefully sleep. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I got it this way. I didn't mean to. I promise I will come back through and do all the mini quests. Just at the moment. If I start taking mini quests, I will constantly stay off track, or it will just be hard to record, I guess. I kind of want to do the story. I want to make the story cohesive, and if I start taking mini quests, that's not going to happen.
Wait, hold on. Headed to Ald Isra.
I just came from there, but I will come back and help you out, I promise. Going. Oh, look at the skeevers picking on that guy right there, the cliff square. Oh! Oh! Apparently, I am very blind. And when I went to go mine that, out of the corner of my eye, I saw this thing and it scared me. Freaks me out. The Striders, what if I went around them? I'm not afraid of a good fight, but I am trying to avoid a centipede. Oh. So gross. That's gross. Went kaplooey. What am I looking for? I am in the relative right area. Let's grab over here. There's a blue glowy thing over here. Let's go figure that out. Dark space.
Telvanni have deep pockets. They can afford.
I was gonna take the shortcut down. actually much easier than one would expect because other people have gone through. Oh. You spawned back, bruh. Came back so fast. Just looking for goodies. Oh, the schnizzles. I'm guessing I need to go to that marker and then backtrack. Interact with the red glowy thing since that's what those guys did. Okie dokie. Alright. Master Shelrani has erected a new arcane barrier toward the entrance to the Tower of Talbaro. Remain vigilant, as these wards are temporary until she has time to conjure something more permanent and durable. Note, only those of you authorized to enter the tower, of which there are precious few, will need a Talbaro insignia to temporarily unlock wards long enough to gain entry. Without an insignia, approach the tower entrance at your own risk. The 4 locks are situated throughout the tower cavern. Okay. Going on. Schnikes. Why did they have to be so loud? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Meln is in my power, Lord. He'll unlock the Black Book soon enough.
He better, Shelrani. We need the right hidden within the tormenting eye, or else all is for naught.
Why are we hearing snarling? Correspondence from Torsan. Master Shalreni, your efforts in Mouthless have been noticed and appreciated. Soon we'll have a door into Apocrypha that even the Great Eye will not see. Blightcrown and his hidden kindred are personally handling the situation in Necrom. I can safely say we will soon have the relic and the door into the realm of knowledge and secrets. Notify me as soon as you acquire the Black Book and attain the right. Remember, everything must be ready at the proper time. The princes stand ready to assist you in dealing with your rivals as soon as the last arrangements are completed.
Tell the princes, I'll uphold my end of the bargain. I expect them to uphold theirs.
Ooh. Our puny allies by Rugert the Brash. Doran the Scald King said, Rugert, write about our puny allies. Rugert, write about our puny allies, the Dark Elves. Tell everyone what you've learned about them during your diplomatic missions to Morrowind. So Rugert replied, Yes, Your Majesty, if you insist, because that is always what you have to say to Doran the Scald King. Now, Rugert is a lot of things, but a writer isn't one of them. I am not a poet or a bard like my king, or a spinner of tall tales like the author of those brave little scrib books. I love those brave little scrib stories. No, Rugert is simply a large ambassador, part of the fabulous Nord cultural exchange. In my role as a spreader of culture, I help strengthen our alliance, especially the ties between the powerful Nords of Skyrim and the puny, small, or maybe not quite so large Dark Elves. Or Dunmer. I think they prefer that term. Maybe? What was Rugert writing about? Ah, yes, Rugert remembers. Our puny, small, allies. They were a great help when the Archiviri invaded the north. The little Dark Elves offered to help us beat them senseless. Not that we Nords needed the help, not in the least, but we decided it would make the little pointy ears happy to participate in the battle. And that was the birth of our alliance, you know, the Ebonheart Pact. Rugert wanted to call it something else, but Jorun banished me after my 5th suggestion. What else can Rugert say? The Dark Elves can be snooty and pompous, and they love their fancy clothes. But they fight well for such puny people, and Rugert finds their beverages to be quite tasty. A few too many bugs and mushrooms and everything, though. Shh, Nikes. Dude, I was reading that. Nice. No patience. Let a girl read. A report on the Dusk Sabers. Your Excellency, I write today to report on my investigation of the incident at Harlan's Watch. As you might recall, a band of Bravalese freebooters were nearly wiped out while camped in the ruins of the town. The sole survivor told a story about the blades in the shadow and fiends with blood-dripping fangs. Clearly, this was no work of a local goblin tribe, so I was sent to hunt down the creatures responsible for the attack. I interviewed the Bravalese survivor who gave me a name, the Dusk Sabers. These vampires work as elite mercenaries, selling their swords and fangs to clients who can afford their unique services. In this case, the Dusk Sabers have been hired by a Telvanni mage to recover some Iliad treasure the Bravalese were after. I set out from Morrowind to eliminate this threat, traveling in disguise, since members of our order are not welcome in the lands of the Tribunal Temple. Creatures such as the Dusk Sabers cannot be allowed to escape Arkay's holy justice, no matter where they hide. tavern and boss, I found the Dusk Sabers, or rather, they found me. I was observing a suspicious dark elf, waiting for him to leave so I can follow him to his lair, but as the evening wore on, he made no move to depart. Finally, I gave up, and at that moment he rose and approached me. No need to leave now, priest, he said with a glint of fangs. There is no one left in here but us and you. I realized that the dark elves remaining in the establishment were all looking at me, eyes crimson and hungry. Cursing myself for my carelessness, I readied to call upon Arkay's light and sell my life dearly, but the vampire facing me raised a hand. That is not why we are here, he said, and sat down across from me. What then? I asked. I have no interest in bandying words with you, monster. Slay me if you can, but the tribunal's ordinators will finish my work soon enough. The vampire smiled. In some parts of Morrowind, that might be the cause. But we are the lands of House Telvanni, my friend. The tribunal has little power here. We are under the protection of these masters who choose to employ us. You and any other zealots from your chapel cannot move against us without provoking their ire. I'm supposed to believe you are warning me for my own good, I retorted. I am warning you for my own convenience. Take this message back to your order. If you strike at a Dust Saber in the Telvanni Peninsula, then you strike at the master who employs us. Ask yourself if you wish to feud with the Telvanni master. The answer is no, then go do your vampire slaying somewhere else. Which master employs you? I demanded. They all do, at one time or another. Adversary said with a cold smile. We are very good at what we do. Now go. Reluctantly I left. I deemed it better to make sure this message reached the chapel than to start a fight I was unlikely to win. As you can see, we have few friends here. The Telvanni are perfectly willing to tolerate vampires in their midst, so long as they're useful to one or another of the masters. And it seems the Dust Sabers are very useful indeed. Your servant, chapel guard, Horatio Flenna. Which, I actually recognize that name. Secrets overheard in Apocrypha by Morinzinus. The seekers pretend that they cannot talk, but they can. For I have heard them. They can both understand speech and utter it, though they do so with a hissing lisp. I shall tell you how I know. As it's so often the case since I came to Apocrypha, I was cowering behind a stack of books, hiding from the baleful attentions of a towering gill man, whose notice I had inadvertently caught. I listened to hear if I was still gibbering, but I couldn't hear it, which usually means I'm not. Then I heard something else. Just beyond my concealing tower of tomes was one of those endless halls lined with numberless urns, halls that I have as studiously avoided ever since I learned that each urn houses, in a broth of noisium fluid, a living concept organ excised from its corpses. I do not like those urns. From the entrance to this hall of urns came the all-too-familiar squelching sound of a seeker's footfalls. But then it stopped, and in its place I heard, for the first time, a sticky sound of a speaking seeker. I know a thing, the seeker lisped, as a frisson of horror danced down my spine. Is it a thing worth knowing? Came the hollow, sourceless voice of the organ in the hithermost urn. You shall judge, floater. I have learned why we have seen no mortal intruders, save for the demented wizard in many turns of the great pages. You know nothing, said the organ. I know old antecedent has entered into an agreement with the mortals, a compact, as they say. Is that nothing? Asked the seeker. Next to nothing. The golden eye is always entering into pacts with mortals, thus my woeful condition. Avoid self-pity, or I shall mock you. You do not like it when I mock you. Listen attentively. I listen. In truth, the scryer enters into many pacts with mortals, but never before has he made a pact with every mortal in Nirn. Bah, unlikely. I state it is the thing that is known. I heard a discussion between Scrivener Unthorax and the 11th Preceptor. They came into the crepuscule where I was quietly seeking. Yes, in fact. Now listen. The Scrivener told the Preceptor that the inevitable knower had agreed to a pact to cease all direct interposition in the mundal affairs. Impossible, I scoff. Mock me as you will. So thought I, and likewise the preceptor expressed skepticism, but then the scrivener spoke a word of aspiration. Books scattered everywhere, ichor fountain from my ear holes, and I knew what he said was a known thing. But why? To meddle with mortals and wrest from them their knowledge is the Daedra's favorite pastime. He seems to have been paid a great price, something he dearly desired, but I could not clearly hear what, due to the injury to my ear holes. It is knowledge, of course, some great secret. It is ever so. So I deem it as well, and it seems this compact binds in both directions, which is why the mortals come here no more, added the seeker. Except for the mad mage, how came he here and upon what ill errand? Asked the urn organ. I know not, but if we catch him, we will pull out his... What is that sound? I heard it too, and so I ran, for I knew that sound. It was gibbering. Is that a turtle? Is he a turtle right there?
I have no time for obstinate ghosts. You will give me access to the Black Book when I return, or else.
Over here! Quickly, before Shelreni comes back!
Yeah, I hear you. Hi, book. The Cold Harbor Compact. Poor Gil Verdell, we still recall, the god of schemes consumed it all. The Cold Harbor went clock with God to bargain on the Princess Sod. They came to mock at Tribune small. Came Shemer, Hunger, and Hunter all. Scryer, Pariah, Destroyer came, and Raver and Twilight just the same. From dread Daedra save us, from Daedra keep us safe. Forsake the ones that made us fight a wrongful fate. They sneered when Clockwork made his demand, till Twilight raised a hand, and what do you offer in return to keep us from chastising Nirn? Then Clockwork whispered long and low, and what he said no mortal can know. From dread Daedra save us, from Daedra keep us safe, forsake the ones that made us to fight a wrongful fate. What an Arcanist.
I see you were able to follow the clues I left in my tower. But you took your sweet time. I can't defy Shelreni much longer. If we're going to get out of here and keep me from complying with that lying murderer, you must do exactly as I say.
What do I need to do?
My spirit is bound to the soul gem Shelreni used to capture me. Disentangling the connection will require more time and expertise than you have. So simply take the gem and leave. Without me, she may never be able to unlock my black book.
Where's the black book?
Shelreni took the black book with her, but without my help, she'll have to unriddle it page by page. The labor of days or weeks, not hours. If she can even accomplish it. She's too fond of the easy path to power. It will be her undoing someday.
What does Master Shelreni need the book for?
She doesn't need it at all. She's in league with a Dremora, Torvasard, and a pair of Daedric princes. There's apparently a rite contained within the book they want her to cast. In return, they'll give her what she wants. Control of House Telvanni.
I'll get the soul gem.
Can you hear me? With the gem in your possession, I can come and go as I please. Now use that portal and let's go. this will do nicely. Let's discuss our arrangement, my chariot of flesh and bone.
I'm a chariot now.
Being dead and incorporeal isn't how I plan to spend eternity. But being with you is 1,000 times better than remaining in Sharenia's clutches. And we delayed her plans for my black book. Now, tell me about your dealings with Hermaeus Mora.
Hermaeus Mora chose me to help save Apocrypha and Nirn from opposing Daedric princes.
So, end of the world stuff. Well, that's something interesting at least. Obviously, you're going to need the help of a Telvanni Magister. Luckily, you have me. Let me conjure up a small reward for my old vault. A stipend for services rendered. Now, mind you keep my gem on you at all times. I can't help you save the world or advise you on matters of import if I'm not on your person. Unless I manifest, only you can hear me. Oh, and I can lend you certain abilities, such as my ghost sight.
Advise me about what?
Remember, I was a Telvanni Magister. Still am, as a matter of fact. One of the most powerful mages in the peninsula. And I've dealt with Hermaeus Mora before. And Shareni. Don't you think my counsel will be worth listening to? Well, it is.
Why did Master Shareni murder you again? I don't need to know that, but alright, we're clicking it.
Once, long ago, I was her mentor. But I recognized a darkness in her. And not the usual Telvanni traits. She was reckless, dangerous. I refused to sponsor her advancement beyond the rank of master. And she coveted my black book. So, she killed me.
Sorry about that, buddy. Tell me about Ghost Sight.
It's an improvement on the ocular lens you used in my tower. I created a spell to produce the same effect without any need of a crude focus. Turns out, it works even better now that I'm dead.
Better? What do you mean?
My black book, The Tormenting Eye, contains many secrets. Ghost Sight was one of them. With it, I can expand your senses, allow you to see the hidden, the imperceivable, the unseen. I have no doubt it will prove important in the tasks ahead of us.
Alright, well, I look forward to the many chats, my dude.
Tossed in your pack? I expect you to find a nice silk pouch for my gem at the first opportunity. Now, let's be off.
Oh! Just chilling.
This thread led us to a powerful ally, the spirit of a Telvanni Magister. And we learned that a Telvanni Master aids our enemies, and plans to use one of Hermaeus Mora's own black books against him. The plot against Apocrypha becomes clearer, Proxy.
Alright, alright.